Today, I want to go on a little rant. Not a rant, but I wanted to discuss, a topic that I feel like is really relevant. And I feel like a lot of women need to hear this because maybe they don't have a woman, a mentor, a friend, a mother, a grandmother, an aunt who can share this with them, and they are having to learn the hard way by going through these troubles in relationships. So I just want to kind of discuss some random things. Not random. Well, it's random, but it's all interrelated. So a lot of women don't understand why relationships with men look the way they do. Me, like, and this is something I have had to come into the realization of from experience and mentorship. But we look at men, we have this narrative amongst men, and I'm gonna speak for because I'm black. This is for anyone, but I'm speaking specifically for the black community because that's just the topic of what I want to speak on. But a lot of women have this mentality in the black community that men aren't shit, right? Men aren't shit. They they're dogs, and they're not loyal. They don't take care of their children, and they don't make good partners, and it's so hard to find a good man. And I get it. I get it. We get the same kind of complaints from men as well about women, but specifically speaking about women, I get it. And I feel like that what women don't understand is that we control the dynamic of relationships more than we understand we do. We give so much of our power away to men in relationships, and that's when the relationship begins to look the way it looks. A lot of women feel that when they get into a relationship with a man, that because he loves her or because she thinks he loves her, that should be enough for him to act and treat her in certain ways, treat her with care, treat her with, gently and loving and being faithful and being a good partner and being understanding of her feelings and all these things that we desire in a relationship. And I'm here to tell you that no one is going to, or let me say this, in most cases, a man is not going to be those things for you until you step into your power as a woman and require it from him with confidence. You have to step into your power and only deal with the best treatment from your partner and nothing less. Period. And the way you gather the confidence to do this, to require this from your partner and to attract these types of partners is by being exactly what you want in your life. Now, we know men and women have different roles in which they play in the relationship. So we're speaking about values right now because I'm a heavy believer in gender roles. So I'm not saying that you need to bring finances to the table in your relationship. 100% no. I mean, do what works for you if that's what you feel. But for my message, no, that's not what I mean. What I mean is, if you know that you're a loyal woman of integrity, nurturing, loving, open, you know that you love your partner the way they want to be loved, not the way you want to love them or the way you think they want to be loved. You allow them to teach you how they want to be loved. You handle them with care. You're always considerate of them. You're willing to compromise. You have all these positive attributes. You have done your inner work. You're not bringing a bunch of baggage and trauma and drama into your situation. You have created a place of peace in your own life, so therefore you bring peace into your connection. You have to be that. if you want to attract that. And not even, and let me take that back. Not to necessarily want to attract that too, but you have to be that in order for you to empower yourself to require that from your mate. A lot of women aren't requiring what they truly desire in relationships because they themselves don't feel that they're worthy of that because they haven't done their inner work yet. They know that they still display behaviors that attract this negative type of these negative type of situations or behavior from their partner. They may just not know what that behavior is or how to change it. And it's a simple formula, but it's not easy in doing. And the formula is that you have to look at the whole of you. You have to work on the inside and the outside. Mentally, of course. Mentally and emotionally, dealing with pasthood traumas. So if you've been in abusive relationships, or you grew up in an abusive home, if you grew up in the foster care system, if you've been raped before, if you have been in a series of relationships in which you've been cheated on, if your mom or your grandma got cheated on, your dad got cheated on by your mom, or vice versa, if you have this childhood trauma, you got bullied, whatever the case may be, if you've dealt with that in your childhood, that trauma has caused you to make poor, in some ways, it has shaped your mind into making certain sets of decisions that are not good for you. You're making decisions or having thinking patterns that cause you to make decisions based off the trauma that you've been through. So you need to heal from that inner trauma first and foremost, because then you will naturally begin to discover who you really are aside from your trauma, because your trauma isn't you. Some people don't understand that when you've experienced certain trauma, of course it causes you to make decisions, but you don't understand like that when you're young, and let's just say you witness your mom being cheated on. Not only could you choose a cheater, but you also can be so fixated on not being cheated on that you become defensive. So there are a number of ways in which your trauma can cause you to make decisions that don't align with what you want to manifest into your life. So that's one thing women need to do to be able to come into their power. 2, they need to work on emotional control. A lot of women feel like that they're able to pop off on men, talking crazy, putting their hands on them, vandalizing their homes and vehicles if they catch them doing something they didn't want, whether it's be cheating or whatever the case may be. They're being violent, calling these guys jobs and all this kind of stuff, being ready to scream and yell and curse people out, all this kind of stuff. That's a lack of emotional control, and it doesn't get you anywhere but into a dysfunctional situation, a dysfunctional marriage, a dysfunctional relationship. Dysfunctional situationships. That's all it does is attract dysfunction. That is not how you handle issues that come up in your life. You need to learn emotional control. You need to learn how to handle situations from a place of calmness without feeling the need to fight someone or bite someone's head off. There's ways to be firm and no nonsense and still be a lady and still be calm about the situation. And we're all human, but when you've mastered this, no man can do anything to you to cause you to react in any certain kind of way. He can't control you via your emotions when you learn to control your emotions, which this also helps you to step into your power, because you can think objectively and make decisions, good decisions, in very heated or unfavorable situations that come out for your greater good. Another way to step into your power as a woman is to have strong boundaries and stick to those boundaries. If you know that you're not a cheater, why are you dealing with a cheater? Why are you dealing with a man who's cheating on you? You need to, or I'm not going to tell you what you need to do. But ways you can step into your power for the, involving this example would be, you have to make it up in your mind that at the first sign of any infidelity, I'm gone. There is no room for there is no room for cheating. There is no room for, oh, people make mistakes. That's true, even though I consider cheating to be a choice. Any guy you date should know that she's 100% against cheating. And if she ever catches me cheating, she's leaving me the first time and she's not coming back. She's not coming back. Any behavior you tolerate or you're willing to tolerate, you're going to receive that. Don't think that your partner loves you so much that they may not do certain things. We're human. It's up to you to set those boundaries. Don't just put your well-being in their hands and your power in their hands. You can put your well-being in your partner's hands in certain circumstances, but you should always keep your power in the situation. Your power allows you to get your needs met the way you need them to be met while also meeting your partner's needs. It keeps the balance in the situation. You wouldn't walk outside naked, would you? Why wouldn't you walk outside naked right now? Because you know it's unacceptable behavior to be outside naked. There are major consequences to being naked outside. It's not societally acceptable to be naked outside and strangers seeing you naked. You wouldn't do that. Why you wouldn't do it? Because you know there are consequences to that. Same thing with cheating. Why would he cheat? If he knew the consequences of cheating. If he truly wanted you and he knew that if he got caught cheating, that you would leave him the very first time and not look back whatsoever and get a better man than he who wouldn't cheat, less men would be cheating. But because we have so many women who accept that for whatever reason, and I understand women are at different levels of their journeys in life, and a lot of women accept less than. But that's why situations look the way they look. We want to put the onus on the man to be better. And my whole thing is this: he should be better. But I'm not going to get into a situation and say, man, you should be better. And because you should be better, I'm going to not be in my power. I'm going to put my power in your hands, and I'm going to expect for you to treat me how I want to be treated, but I'm not going to require that. You should just know to do it because you're supposed to be a good person, and you should know to be a good person. And if you choose to not treat me how I want to be treated in this connection, then you're just not being a good person, and you're wrong, and God's going to get you. You just literally put your well-being and everything about you in the hands and your well-being, your power, how you show up in this connection, everything in the hands of your mate. You put the onus on them to treat you a certain kind of way without you requiring it, without a repercussion or boundaries or anything if they try to cross it. Don't get into situations with your guard down to the point where, and when I say guard down, I mean, maybe that's not the word I want to use. Don't get into situations where you are fully opening yourself up to someone without maintaining boundaries with them. Standards. Making sure they live up to your live up to your standards. Not so much expectations, standards. Making sure that y'all have values that are alike. Y'all have the same values. And you have to enforce that in your life. You have to require that. Relationships require that we stay on top of what we need individually. And it doesn't have to be done in a forceful way. But we can't allow our partners to get lax in situations. And we can't put our power in their hands and then get upset and hurt when someone crosses our boundaries. It's up to you to enforce your boundaries and to step into your power and require that you be treated a certain kind of way and require that you only deal with a certain caliber of man. That is up to you. Do not put that in his hands to do for you. Also, another way to, well, an added way to step into your power is to work on your outside. A lot of women don't want to hear this because a lot of women feel like that a man should love her as she is physically. The man that she wants, I'm going to take that back. The man that she wants to love her should love her as she is physically, even if she may not be his physical type or even if she doesn't take care of herself physically. And the truth be told is that that's just unrealistic. You can definitely attract a man, or not necessarily attract a man, but you have, everybody has a match. But for women who want whatever kind of man you want in your life, and this can go for, relationships in which it's like same-sex relationships as well, but I'm just speaking for men and women relationships, male and female relationships. You can have whatever kind of relationship you want to have. But I'm speaking for women who want to have a higher caliber relationship. It requires that you care for yourself on a different level. A lot of women want a high caliber man, but they don't show up as a high caliber woman at all. Don't think that because you're smart and you have degrees and you drive a certain kind of car, you went to a certain kind of school, and you make a certain kind of salary, you have a certain kind of job, title, career, that is what makes you valuable to your man, and that you can just neglect the outside, that those attributes, or what, not even those accomplishments that you are bringing, that they are enough. Like, men of high caliber don't care as much about your education, how much you make, what career fields you're in. Of course they care, but that's not what they're putting their emphasis on. So it's like so many women, because they don't have anything else to cling to, they cling to that. Oh, I have a PhD. I have a master's. I have a bachelor's. I am, this, and that in my job. I make this amount of money a year. I drive this kind of car. You sound like a man. Sis, no one cares. No man cares about, no man who wants to be the man for you, to show up for you as your man and your offspring, cares about that. Unless he's looking for you to contribute financially to you all's lifestyle. And on my channel, I am a proponent of traditional relationships because I believe that relationship dynamic brings the best out of both partners, which, a woman can work and all that good stuff if she chooses to. But I feel like that don't neglect your looks. Don't put so much emphasis on your accomplishments, because you began to be in your masculine energy when you're focusing on those financial, career, educational based accomplishments as a way to prove your worthiness. You being in your power as a woman is enough. Because if you're fully in your power, you've done all your inner work on the inside and the outside. And that's enough. That's the value you bring into a relationship. Not your degrees, not your car, not your money, not your ability to pay for a man or pay 50-50 or help him pay bills or even pay the small bills while he pays the big bills. Because a lot of women are giving their power away because they are having these men's children. They are living with them without being married. They are not getting access to his resources legally, even though she's putting in so much work. She's birthed his children. She takes care of him. She takes care of the home. They're investing so much. And they're receiving so little in return, thinking that they have to prove their worth to the man by paying a bill or cooking and cleaning, when those are just natural things that you do to take care of your home. And because you love your family, and those are the things that you just naturally do as an adult within your family unit. But that doesn't prove your worth. You are enough without those things. That is extra you're bringing to the table. So your cooking and your cleaning and your sex game is just the addition to what you bring to the table as a woman who's stepped into her power. That is not the focus of it all. I mean, and we all know men to be visual, so that is a big focus of theirs. But it's not just the looks either. You don't want to be the woman who is so much on her accomplishments and accolades that she neglects her looks and thinks that's enough to attract the kind of man she wants in her life. And you don't want to be the woman who's so on her looks that she thinks that's all that attracts a man in her life, because it's not just looks either. You can have a lot of women who are beautiful, and we see it all the time. A lot of women who are beautiful, who can attract a higher caliber man because of her beauty, but she's not treated well in those situations. She accepts a lot of low vibrational behavior from that man because she has not stepped into her power. So there has to be a balance of all things. Being able to have some form of education for yourself, whatever that looks like for you. Whether you went to the military, whether you went to trade school, went to college, whether you opened a business, you've done well for yourself and you have gained some type of knowledge in some type of area. You have passions. You take care of your body. You value your body. You value your friendships. You have good quality friendships. You treat people well. You are a positive person to be around. So many other things. And working on these things, embodying these things, help you to tap into your true power as a woman. Because understand that when women tap into their power, that's when things are going to shift. That's when we're going to see a mass shift when it comes to how society is operating. It's because women have released so much power and given it to men. It's become so imbalanced in society because so many women don't know their worth. Because they've been through so much in life that has made them feel like what they desire is a little bit too much or a lot too much to ask for. And they don't know how to go about healing themselves and growing in a way that vibrationally aligns them with what they desire to manifest into their life. You have to first feel worthy and know that this is for you and that you deserve this. And that's easier said than done for a lot of women because we've let ourselves go in a lot of situations. We settle for a lot of toxic love. We have beat ourselves down mentally, and we've been beat down by family members and loved ones and relationships and society and bullies, teachers, and all kinds of things, right? All types of situations where someone has said something to you that has stuck with you for your whole since up until now, and you're still insecure about that, and you still let that block you from being your best self. And we've all been there, but you have to take the time to heal from that. You have to take the time to go within to that shadow side and sift through that baggage, that hidden trauma. Figure out where it originated from, how you felt in that moment, how that situation caused you to make a certain set of choices throughout your life that have landed you to be right here where you may not even want to be, but you're meant to be right here because there's a lesson for you to learn, but you may not be satisfied with where you are. So you want to make those changes, and that's the way to do that. And I also want to talk about, and I'm try not to make this long, but I also want to talk about there are different types of men in this world. A lot of women feel like, well, I want a man who makes money, who has money. There are different kinds of men with money. There are men who are going to just, not be in their integrity and have money. And then there are men who are going to be in their integrity and have money. And men can change depending on the woman they're with. But then women also have to understand that we have to choose better and really pay attention to the red flags, and really sometimes we have to be proactive in choosing our mates. So some tips into since I'm kind of talking about a bunch of different things right now. Some tips to align yourself with someone or a man if you're dating, to align yourself with a man who can be a vibrational match for you. First and foremost, I always recommend that women do not date anyone their age. We all know that women mature faster than men. I would say date someone at least 10 years older than you, if not more. If that's something you can't do, then this video isn't for you. And these tips and tricks probably won't work for you. Well, not tips and tricks, but my advice to you, if you take my advice to empower yourself, you're probably going to end up dating someone older than you, because you're going to see what I mean, or you're going to see why I'm saying you should date older. Because men already are more, immature than women. And vibrationally, a lot of them are beneath us in our same age group, for those of us who have stepped into our power. And they're on a whole different wavelength than we are in. And to get the kind of life you probably want, if you want a traditional life where you have a protector, provider, problem solver, leader for your family, you're gonna have to go older. Someone who you can have that good connection with, who doesn't play the games, because anybody can play games. But men, of course, mature slower. So the men who are older, 10 plus years older than you, are gonna be either at your vibrational match, or they may even can help to elevate you, because they have that much life experience and wisdom to offer. But no one your age in most cases has that. They're still building that. And two, women need to be careful. When you know your value as a woman, you do not need to deal with certain men who are beneath your value. I'm not saying those men are beneath you, as in saying you're better than them, because I feel like that all of us, all human beings all souls, in my opinion, are valuable. But he may be vibrationally below you. You don't want to deal with any man who deals with women who are vibrationally below you. So if you know that you're a 10 when it comes to you have your shit together, for real, and not this self-convoluted thinking of having your shit together, but for those women who know, they know when you really have your shit together, right? You're not going to entertain a man who dates women who don't have their shit together, who haven't done their inner work, who are showing up as less than their true selves. You can see that energy. We see it all the time. You are not going to entertain a man who dates those kind of women. Because if he dates those kind of women, then he's a vibrational match for those kind of women. You don't want to drop your stock by dating men who date women of a lower vibration, of a lower caliber. It is what it is. That is not saying that some women are more valuable than others, but some women are further along in their journey than others. And their vibration is different, is lower, because they haven't learned certain lessons in life yet. They may not even learn them in this lifetime, they may do, but as of right now, that's where they are. Don't deal with a man who deals with these kind of women, because he's essentially the same vibrational match as them if he can stoop down to their level and deal with them. Sexually, relationship-wise, it all. If he's risking all he's worked for and all this growth to deal with someone who is a low vibrational match for him, he is that vibration, or he's lower than of a lower vibration than you. Don't let him drop your stock. Only date high caliber men who vibrate on the same level that you have worked to vibrate at. I feel like I see a lot of women who really like a total package, and they have dated down. They have dated men who don't have high self-esteem. They have dated men who when some men like to date women who um don't show up as a lady. They don't act ladylike in public. They don't carry themselves well. They'll deal with those kind of women because they feel like those women are easy and their standards are low and they don't have to really rise to the occasion to get to have sex with them. That's not the kind of man you want to deal with. You don't also want to deal with a man who feels like that his money talks so much to the point where he can do what he wants to do with you and carry himself in any kind of way in your connection because he has money either. That's why when you step into your power, these issues cease to exist because you don't entertain them. You know exactly what you want. You know exactly what you offer. You don't accept less. And therefore, you only attract what you want and maintain that in your life. You manifest that. We as women, and I actually have a video that I recorded that I'm probably going to re-record about women taking accountability for themselves and the role they play in these connections. I don't want to make this video, well, you know what, maybe I will just make it. Go ahead. For those who are meant to hear it, they'll hear it. But women have got to start taking more accountability for themselves and connections as far as accountability for their actions. Because I see so many women who say, he's a deadbeat dad and I didn't, he switched up on me and he changed or, he's a cheater, he's an abuser. They're always blaming the man for being a poor partner, but they're not taking accountability for the fact that they actually chose that man and allowed him to be in a relationship with them or have access to their womb, produce the baby for him, all that. They're not taking accountability for that. And I know a lot of women they do make these decisions out of ignorance. Some don't. Some know exactly what they're doing and they still choose to do it, but some don't know. You only know what you know, right? And I understand that. But by taking accountability for the fact that I still made this decision to do this, to accept this person into my life and they weren't good for me, even if I did it from ignorance, I can now change my behavior. But if I keep blaming him for what he didn't do and I'm always his victim, I'm always a victim of what he's done to me. How can I change that? How can I change the cycle? How can I do better? You can't do better until you take accountability for what part you had to play in the situation. So if your life is not where you want it to be, you need to be looking inward, not outward at him, but within yourself to ask yourself, what do you need to fix so that you can create the life you want and not accept this behavior anymore? Not, well, he's a bad person and he did this and he did that. And he'll be dealt with. Whatever energy you put out, you're going to get back. We are living in a balanced world, right? There's always a yin yang, a perfect balance at all times. So as long as you've acted in integrity, you're going to receive your blessings back for being in your integrity and acting in love. And you're going to learn your lessons from that situation. You're going to come into your power and you're not going to have to deal with that bullshit anymore. Period. But you're not a victim anymore. So don't keep putting yourself in this victim mentality by always putting the onus on the man as to why he wasn't here. And take accountability for whatever your situation is. Be honest with yourself. If that man said he didn't want a baby and you still chose to have that baby, don't complain about being a single mother. Just don't do it, because you played a role in creating the life you don't want right now. So you can't complain about that. It's not like it was something that was forced upon you. Even if you did it out of ignorance, you still chose to do it consciously. And you have to take accountability for that and learn from it and move forward. There's no point in you complaining about it now, because it only makes you look bad. Because the more you talk about your baby daddy or your boyfriend cheating or whatever the case may be, it's okay to call that behavior out if that's what happens. But the more you talk about it and become a victim of it, the more you look worse. Because now people are looking at you as, why would you even choose this person that you have to speak so poorly of? It just shows your mental state that you were in when you chose them. So look at that and figure out how to change that by taking accountability for your part that you play in your life. You're the narrator of your own life. Your choices that you made in the past are now the current life you're living right now. So make a different set, a better set, a healthier set of choices to create the life you want presently and in the future. Again, all of this ends when you step into your power as a woman. You have the ability to change the world. You don't understand it. When you step into your power and your purpose, you change the lives of people around you, whether it's your children, your mother, your father, your husband, your boyfriend, your baby daddy, your sister. People see you grow. And as a result, they get the inspiration to grow as well. They began to feel this your vibration rising, and they want to be a part of it, and they began to grow, and their vibration rises as well. And for those who don't, they drop off, they fall away, they disappear, and you're left with those who are meant to be in your life, your soul tribe. And you're left with the life that you truly want to manifest, the relationship you truly want. You're being treated how you want to be treated. You're no longer a victim. You're no longer giving your power away. It starts with you. But that's the end of my little rant. Thank y'all for listening. And would you please like and subscribe if you do like these little rants. Have a great day. Bye-bye.